I think it's a big thing, the trades now, to be able to do that. But back to the fast food. I mean, it is an experience to have. I mean, I'm really glad that I had it, and I loved it. I mean, when I worked at McDonald's, man, I enjoyed it. I lived it. My wife and I, that's where we met at, got married, but we lived that thing and enjoyed it. Like I said, and it's a hectic work.
Yeah.
And,
right.
you know, and we were two different types of workers. I don't know what type you were, okay? She was the type, if drive-through went off, she went over and seen if she could help. I was the type that was sitting back at the desk counting the money, saying somebody needs to get drive-through. Okay?
Yeah,
okay?
right.
I don't know what type you were, but
I'm the sense of urgency.
See,
everybody pull together. Let's get this person in and out.
But I mean, you know, and she started working for McDonald's years ago. You know, I mean, when they didn't have the registers like now, there was dummy-proof as possible. It was a whole different world that we grew up in.
Right.
And we talk about a lot. She grew up, and her father had passed away when she was younger, and she had to get her own car, get her own things, didn't work all the stuff herself. But she can handle anything now because she's had those experiences.
Right. Yeah.
And so many people miss that. And I think that's where, okay, let's touch on this. I know we're covering a world of topics, but let's talk about our children. If we're not careful, so many kids today, we think we want them to have it better than us.
Sure.
And we mess them up.
Right.
Because no struggle, no gain. And I think if kids don't have some struggle, they never really learn. They never learn the things that you learned.
That's so true. All of mine, their first job has been in a restaurant setting. That served me very well. You learn a lot of life skills dealing with the public and difficult people. And you learn, the value of putting in a long day on your feet, right? It's a humbling experience. And so I've always been a big believer that, if you, just like me, if you want to have these things, you're going to have to work for it. I hope any way I can, but I'm not going to give it to you.
Right.
And maybe that's right, maybe it's wrong, I don't know. But mine have all turned out okay, right? They're good people. And we've lost that a little bit, but there's a delicate balance that you have to find, and I don't know what the silver bullet is to find it in, giving your kids what you didn't have, but also making sure that they get the things that you got because you didn't have those things, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and because we say this, well, we want them to have better than us, or we want them to do better. And it don't make a lot of sense sometimes, okay? I know it makes us feel good emotionally. But when I think about raising our family and things like that, we got to be able to, all right, say, you're going to have to make this. You're going to have to do this. And I think about my son. He'd been working for me ever since he was a little boy. Big enough doing. I put him on a bulldozer when he could touch the pedals, and it always been with me. But a few years ago, my wife and I began to talk about we didn't want to do as much as we'd done. We wanted to cut back on business. We wanted to cut back on things around us. We want to do that. Well, he's been with me ever since he's been a boy, and I said, you're going to have to leave and go get a job on your own somewhere else because we're not going to pay you anymore, and you're not working for us. And but he went straight to Southwest. He'd always drove a truck and got his CDL. It didn't cost him anything, got the CDL, went to work for Pepsi, within the next 2 weeks, and has been there ever since.
Yeah.
But I mean, and when I see that grit in him, when I see him leave out at 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, and come back at 6, 7 o'clock at night, I admire that, and I'm glad that's in him.
Right.
That grit that's in there, that gives you hope in where they're at.